Hello, one and all. Welcome to the part 2 discussion of ARM processors. Last discussion part was up to the versions of ARM family and different selected microcontrollers under ARM. So ARM7 was the most popular selected version of ARM family, which was considered under the classic design of ARM processor, from which every further design was improved based on the architecture of ARM7. So we shall make a look on basic architecture design of ARM7 in this discussion. The further versions which were given with high popularity, as mentioned in the previous discussion also, ARM9 and ARM7. So we would like to just see the linearity in the increase in the architecture. At the high-end applications, maybe up to satellite design or robotic designs, we have lot of Cortex ARM family versions available under ARM11 design architectures. So if we see a simple comparison, it's a slide that shows like very simplified comparison between ARM of one version and another version. There are a lot of comparisons in deep. There are a lot of similarities in deep. There are a lot of differences between one version to another version in deep. If I say the comparison in similarity, both belong to RISC family and both are of 32-bit size. So many similarities exist. Simple differences like ARM9 preferred Harvard architecture, non-von-Neumann architecture. ARM7 relied on Princeton architecture. The pipeline is enhanced from the previous version of ARM9. As we can see in ARM7 as it has 3-stage pipeline, ARM9 has 5-stage pipeline, and there will be some difference in the clock arrangements and all. So based on one enhancement, we are going to shift from one condition architecture or one condition version to another version. One of the basic version of controller design inside ARM TDMI processor is LPC2148. Here, LPC stands for low power consumption microcontroller. So we can see the clock frequency on the screen represented from 30 megahertz to a 50 megahertz range, which is very appreciable arrangement for a 32-bit controller. And though we are increasing the frequency, though we are increasing the data bit capacity, though we are increasing the accessibility memory size from flash RAM 512 KB, somewhere we would have seen on 16 KB or 8 KB, now it is 512 KB. Still, the clock frequency is not gaining its increase. This is one of the biggest asset the processor design focuses on. At low clock frequency itself, sorry, I should not mention the word clock frequency here, power. At low power consumption factor itself, we see 3 to 3.6 volts. Our ARM processors are giving more sort of efficiencies. Right. What we represent here is a simple architecture of ARM block diagram. Most of the popular things, whenever we are new to learn any architecture, how do we learn? Always prefer from starting with ALU. Surrounding to this, all the design is being created. It's a 32-bit ALU for ARM7 processor, surrounded by nearby register bank where we can quickly obtain our data. Some around will be having 16 general purpose registers with other specialties among them connected to the ALU in this order. Then along with that, we can have some external bus accesses through external IO connections, or we can take it from memory arrangements through some addresses. Now this is where we are going to see our architecture, and it is the output arrangement after the operation. It could be restored back, sent back to the memory, or it could be sent outside the ALU section. Then to support ALU before execution, we have fetching and decoding section of this. Then the most important part that appears new to us will be here, saying like multiply register, saying then again barrel shifter. Whenever we perform some shift and rotate operations, we will need these barrel shifters. We don't have barrel shifters in basic microcontrollers like 8051 or so, or MSP 430 or so. Barrel, bulk amount of instructions when they are being utilized for shifting and rotating operations, we can have this utilization of barrel shifter. More number of instructions could be at a time performed with, or at a time shifted from one place to one location to another location, or one cell to another cell of the register. So very prominent names, very routine names, very known names that we see are address register. Inside to this we will be having program counter, program incrementer, decrementer, then data out register, many buffers with respect to data, and many latches with respect to addresses will be provided in the architecture. This is an outlook representation of ARM7 block diagram. As I mentioned, it stands as a basic architecture. Any next level version of ARM will be considered with the ARM7 architecture. So we take a break here. Thank you for that. Then we'll continue with the next version. Thank you.